Alright, good afternoon everyone. Today is Monday, September 24th, 2012. We're going to go through all the trades we took in the live trading room this morning, all the trades we didn't take, and the results of everything. First, if you have not taken a free trial with us, go to www.cfrn.net/apply. Sign up for the free trial. To sign up, all we need is your name and your email address. We don't ask for any credit card information. With the free trial, you get 5 days in the live trading room. You get all the indicators and the platform and everything that you see here. And you get, in the live trading room, we do everything we can to answer all your questions and get you up to speed as quickly as possible so you can start trading with us. You can see here what Dwayne's results were. He got 15 ticks profit this morning, trading the ES. Trading the ES this morning in the live trading room. And now I'm going to move the charts over to my desktop in just a moment. Show screen 2. There we go. Alright. And now we'll go through my results. I took one ES trade for -8 ticks. I took a few gold trades for +11 ticks. I took a couple of crude trades for +4 ticks. I took one YM trade for -8. And I took a couple of NQ and ended at +4. So altogether, I guess we ended +7 between Dwayne and myself on the ES, +14 on the, +11 on the gold, +4 on the crude, +4 on the NQ, and -8 on the YM. That was our morning results. All right, now let's cover the trades here. All right. The one trade that I took on the ES was right here this morning. Okay, I did not. This pulled up here to test. We'll just call it the yellow line for right now. It's called the DIFAC, but we'll change it at some point. I'm going to change the name of that thing. It pulled up here and it faded back down into the BBC. At which point I did not go long at the BBC. I waited until it pulled up here again and it hit the yellow line again, and I shorted it right there for another fade down to the BBC. It went up and down and up and down and up and down. It came back to break even a couple of times. I elected to stay in the trade. It stopped me out right here. Now, right about here, Dwayne said he wanted to short, and he actually obviously did short the ES right up here. Okay, he was saying 51.75. He liked shorting right there, and he said he may tell all the partners about everyone about why he did that in the partners meeting on Thursday. So you have to be a partner to get in there. Anyway, he hit that level and he shorted it down, took some profit. I did not trade the ES again this morning. All right. I took one YM trade right over here. It stopped me out pretty much to the tick and then went up to my profit target. You know, that happens. It was the first pullback down to the BBC. I went long at the BBC. It drew down 9 ticks. I had 8 ticks risk on it, and then it moved up. My entry, I want to say my entry was right in here at 61, I think. And it went up to 73 from there. That was the only trade I took on the YM this morning. Okay. The NQ, let's look at the NQ here. Now, I marked up some trades here on the NQ. I didn't get them all marked up, I guess. Maybe I did. We got the bullish cross and the test of the BBC here. With an up close right there. We had bullish divergence at the time over here. This is a 4-tick range NQ chart. That obviously went up nicely. Pulled back down over here, and it didn't have any opportunity in here, or anywhere in here for that matter. We didn't have the proper divergence. The MA1's on the wrong side of the BBC. I guess right in here, there were a couple of trades that I did miss right in here and over here. Here we had some bullish divergence down here. All right. Bullish divergence is when the green line pulls away from the cycle portion of the slingshot. So we had bullish divergence down there and there. Tested the BBC, gave an up close. Again here, tested the BBC and gave an up close. Each one of those gave 2 points or so, it looks like. There was a momentum opportunity right here on this move down, 10:15. I don't know why it moved down so quickly there, but if I remember right, everything started to move down. There was a pullback up, tested the BBC with a down close with the bearish divergence for an opportunity to short right there. Now when it pulled up over here and it gave the down close, the cycle was headed up too strong against us, so we weren't looking to short right there. All right, as it moved through here, There was another opportunity here. It pulled down, tested the BBC, and gave an up close again with bullish divergence. I'll just use one of these arrows over here. Again with bullish divergence. I took that long. Once it closed on the other side of the MA1, I moved my stop to break even, and I was taken out at break even right there. It moved up and down and didn't give us any opportunity in here at all. I did take a long trade right here. After it closed up right here, it drew down, and I went long right here with just a couple of ticks risk on it, and it stopped me out at minus a couple of ticks. All right. Then it gave a short indication right here. I did take that one as well. We had the bearish divergence, bearish cross, tested the BBC, down close. I went short, and once it closed under the MA1, I had moved my stop to break even, and it took me out before moving down to my profit target. It did it again right here one more time, right at the end of the morning session, and I did actually short that, and that's what got me to plus 4 ticks on the NQ. Okay, because I had lost a little bit right here and made it back, and then a few more right there. All right, that was the NQ on the morning. Now let me grab. Hang on a second. Here we go. Crude oil. No, gold. Sorry, this is gold, not crude. Gold had a few trades this morning. You can see I took a few of them and I missed a few of them. Right here at the open. This was prior to the open. We had some opportunity right there prior to the open. Then it moved up. It came down. There was a momentum trade right in here. For those of you who know what the momentum trades are, there was an opportunity right there for that. It moved around a little bit. It came back here, gave a bullish cross, tested the BBC with an up close. We had bullish divergence, and it moved up. And it did it again over here for another move up. Then we had a bearish cross, and it tested the BBC with a down close with bearish divergence. That did move down. I didn't get into that right in there. But I did take a short trade over here. All right, I missed this one in here. Right in here, it pulled back up and tested the BBC with another down close right there with a nice bearish divergence right down here. All right, I ended up missing that one, and I took the next one. And I got a couple of ticks profit out of the next one. All right, then it turned around, came, I shorted up here, and I faded it off of the yellow line here down to the BBC. So I got a few ticks, I think 5 or 6 ticks profit out of that too. All right, when it came up here and gave a down close off the yellow line, I shorted it right there and took profit down here at the BBC. All right, it went through the BBC and gave an up close with bullish divergence. That was an opportunity to get long, and it moved up nicely off of that. You can see a couple of times it dropped through the BBC here, almost hitting the yellow line, but never actually did. It did actually hit the yellow line right here. I'm not sure why I didn't get into that trade, but I missed it. And it dropped through, gave bearish cross, bearish divergence, pullback, tested the BBC with a down close, and I took some profit on that one. And that was pretty much the end of the morning session. You can see it did it a couple more times in here, right in there, with the down close, with the bearish divergence, and once again right over here with the down close with the bearish divergence. Okay, that was the gold for the morning. All right, now let me bring over the crude oil for the morning. Here we go, crude oil for the morning. We took a few trades in crude this morning. The first one that we took right over here, we lost. Then we took a couple of trades. I'm trying to see where we ended up. Yeah, I think we lost a small amount on this one over here. I don't think we lost the full 8 ticks on it. No, we didn't lose on that. We profited on that, I think. Anyway, oh no, this was the one we made money on. We did lose on that other one. Okay, now I'm back online here. All right, so we had, sorry, I went through all that right there in my head, right in front of you guys. We had a bullish cross here, a pullback down, tested the BBC with an up close with the bullish divergence. I took an entry there, and I took some profit on that. Then there was nothing in here, unfortunately, right here. I missed this. We had a pullback up to the BBC, test of the BBC, and a down close. The cycle was going up a little bit. That's probably why I stayed out of that. Over here, we had a bullish cross, and it came all the way down to the yellow line here and tested it, and it gave an up close. There was an opportunity there and another one right there. We had a bearish cross, and it came up here and tested the BBC and gave a down close. I took this short trade right here, and I lost. That's why I ended up where I ended up. Okay. Because I had profit over here, so I was green. Then I took this for a -8 ticks, so I was red a little bit. I missed this next trade right here after the bullish cross, and it tested the BBC and the upper close. Now, guys, I'm going to take my time here for just a second. This is a 4-tick range chart. The NQ, the gold, the Russell, soybeans, the 6E, all those things we use on a 4-tick range chart. Okay. We even have a 4-tick range chart for the YM and for the ES that you can use if you want to. The trade setups are the same. You look for the bullish cross right here. That means the MA1 crosses over the BBC. The green line is a BBC. You look for that bullish cross. You look for price to come back down, looking for an area of support. Support is provided by the BBC. When it hits that BBC and it closes in the direction of the cross, so it would be an up close, you look to see if you have divergence between this green line and this cycle. If you do have that divergence, then this is a short-term pullback, and you should look for the green line to work its way up into the cycle. Price is going to make it do that. All right. That's the setup. It's the same setup on all the 4-tick range charts. Okay. So in this particular case, there was an opportunity to get long and take the move up. Right here, we had a bearish cross that tested the BBC with a down close, and we had just a tiny bit of bearish divergence down here, but the down close was a spot to get short. All right, it did it again right here. I got long right here, and once it was held in by the MA1, I had moved my stop to break even, and I got out of that trade. It went back and forth a little bit right here. Didn't give a trade in either direction. Then we had a bearish cross and pull back up, tested the BBC with bearish divergence. I took that trade and took some profit. The next one tested the BBC, gave a down close. I took that trade, and when the MA1 looked like it was holding it right here, I took a break even on that. All right. You can see since then it's pulled up here and gave a down close off the yellow line. We didn't really have the divergence there to support that. To support a trade off the BBC, we didn't get the down close or the divergence. Over here, we did have divergence right in here. Okay. And over here, we had divergence on the long side right there. And right here, you see where it pulled right through the BBC and didn't give an up close. It gave an up close off of that line right there. All right. So those were the opportunities in the crude oil this morning. We ended up green a little bit on the crude. Let's see. I didn't trade the Russell, but I'll show you the setups on the Russell. Okay. There weren't as many as there are in all the other places, but let's see. Right here was the first one. Off the yellow line, we had some bullish divergence, bullish cross. Went right through the BBC, came down here, tapped this, and gave an up close. That was an opportunity to get long. That lasted most of the morning. Then we got a bearish cross that tested the BBC, and a down close. That was an opportunity to get short right in there. All right. If you got short there, good. If not, there was another one that followed it right over here. Okay, and that was the morning trading. What time is it? 9:34. I don't think we traded any other markets this morning, so I think I'm going to wrap it up with that. Again, if you guys have not taken a free trial and you want to get into the free trial, go to www.cfrn.net/apply. Okay. Hang on, let me see. Are there any questions? 30-minute charts, Frank B. And the Globex open through New York open on the 30-minute, 15-minute, and 5-minute. Just like to see what it looks like. Something close. Why do I talk? Do I talk too fast? Bruce H. That is a new indicator that we made available to all the partners in Friday's partners meeting. Okay. It's actually available to everyone, but we put it out there in the partners meeting on Friday. Frank.
Frankly, you should really come, or you should come not come to, you should take the free trial.
You should. Just sign up for the free trial. You get all the indicators and all that stuff.
So you'll get to play with them yourself and put them on all the different time frames. and there's no obligation, no credit card required.
Yep, I said that. I did. All right. Well, here's a 30-minute. Okay, from the going through the Globex, just so you can see what it said. We had a bearish cross up here, then it dropped down, went up and it hit the yellow line right here, and came off the yellow line pretty hard. That was this morning at about 10:30. Okay, that's the 30-minute. Now, you said 30, 15, and 5, I believe. Here's the 15-minute. Now about 10:30, right in here, it came up, hit the yellow line right there on the 15-minute, and fell off of that. What was it? 49 down to 46. 3-point drop off of that. That was right about the same time as it dropped this morning. Okay, and it went up off of that. Now let's look at the 5-minute. Here's the 5-minute. Let's try to look in the same period of time. 9, 10, 15. Okay, I think 10:05 to 10:15. This is kind of, I don't know, on the 5-minute, this is at the bottom of the move at 10:15. So it caught the move up on the 5-minute, where the other ones, looking in hindsight, it's hard to tell where they were at that point at 10:15 exactly, because one of them's a 30-minute, one of them's a 15-minute. But anyway, this one caught the bottom and moved it up, and it's possible you could have gotten in here. This is 49 down to 46, so this is the move down. So the 5-minute didn't really show the move down. Okay, the other two did. The 5-minute is showing the move up though pretty well right here, and I don't remember if the other two showed sort of a bottoming formation. Let's just go look again. Yeah, they showed the BBC on this one, and let's look at the 30-minute quickly. Yeah, was this at 10:15? Right in here. Yeah, this was it right in here. It was in this period right in here. They showed the MA1 on this one. So the BBC and the MA1 on the larger time frames, and the BBC on the smallest time frame. Okay? That was a little slower than normal. All right, so right in here, what it was suggesting on the 10,000 contract, we had a bearish cross and tested the BBC, so right in here it's suggesting a shorting opportunity. We had bearish divergence. When you see divergence like this, what you anticipate is that the green line is going to work itself into the cycle, and it did that right here. We also just got a pierce at the envelope right here by a green trend strength line. Okay, that suggests a 5 to 6 point move down from this level. And that is that, I believe. All right. All right, so I'm going to stop the recording here. Once this recap gets out there, Frank, then you'll be able to go and watch it as many times as you want.